It seemed, by all accounts, to be a cordial photo op of outgoing President Biden welcoming President-elect Donald Trump back to the White House. And yes, I just threw up a little in my mouth when I said that. As it turns out, it was anything but a cordial meeting. Your first clue is the raging fire in the fireplace. Biden was trying to make Trump uncomfortable, and that, it turns out, was just a prelude to what was to come. Behind closed doors, with no cameras, the friendly but shrewd Biden gave Trump a warning. I'm going to talk about that warning because yesterday's rambling, incoherent, and wildly off-base press conference proved that Trump is as dangerous as ever and that we are in for a rough time.
There's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him. They also want to go back, and they have already started that, to when you buy a faucet, no water comes out because they want to preserve. Even in areas that have so much water, you don't know what to do. It's called rain. Comes down from heaven. But the 625 million acres, people can't realize it's like the whole ocean. And they're 25 stories tall, 40 stories. They have 170 stories tall. The blades, they take 3 ships to ship them. It's crazy. They're dangerous. You see what's happening up in the Massachusetts area with the whales, where they had 2 whales wash ashore in, I think, a 17-year period. And now they had 14 this season. The windmills are driving the whales crazy, obviously. And they had actually over, I think, 125 or something over a number of years. And no, economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. So if I watch it, actually I watched it on Fox. I'm not allowed to say that. Say it?
Do you think he's directly responding to the threats that you have made to him in the past? With
Probably. Yeah, probably. Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You look at, you don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen.
And now CNN is reporting that during a 55-minute exit interview with USA Today, Biden expressed concern about misinformation. Well, if Biden was concerned about misinformation before yesterday's press conference, he's certainly even more worried about it now. If anything, yesterday's press conference has probably helped Biden make up his mind about the pressing issue of preemptive pardons. When asked about it, Biden said he was very straightforward with Trump and warned him during their Oval Office meeting that there was no need and it was counterintuitive for his interest to go back and try to settle scores. Biden then told the interviewer that Trump did not offer a response one way or the other. So, when pressed if he is going to issue pardons, Biden confirmed that he was open to the idea, but a decision had not been made. When pressed whether he would issue preemptive pardons to people like former Representative Liz Cheney of Wyoming and Dr. Anthony Fauci, Biden said, well, a little bit of it depends on who he puts in what positions. There's a certain degree of insincerity in that response, since Biden's going to have to make a decision before Trump puts people into place. And there's several reasons why Biden is keeping this issue under wraps. First of all, as an experienced politician, he's more than likely going to issue the pardons a day or two before the inauguration, if not on Inauguration Day, as a means of stealing the press headlines from Trump. But the other reason Biden is playing his cards close to his chest is that there's a constitutional question at stake here. People like Fauci and Cheney have not committed crimes, nor have they been convicted, hence the term preemptive pardon. It's unclear whether a preemptive pardon is constitutional, and so the issue will have to ultimately go before the Supreme Court. And this is where it gets dicey. No doubt the Constitution-breaking conservatives will give a strict constitutional reading to this case and rule against the pardon. And actually, I can see the progressive justices doing the same thing. Unlike the right-wing ideologues on the bench, the progressives decide cases based on their reading of the Constitution as it pertains to a specific case. The Constitution does not specify preemptive pardons. I can see the progressives unwilling to twist the Constitution over a precedent-setting decision. In fact, I can see them having confidence that courts are going to be unable to perform the kind of witch hunts Trump desires. And besides, even if Trump does go after political opponents like he's promised, he's already shown them what to do. Delay, delay, delay. Because when push comes to shove, they should only have to push off the trials and the appeals process for 2 years. Political show trials and more events like yesterday's press conference should lead to overturning Congress with huge numbers and getting rid of Trump once and for all. Democrats need to stop thinking about 4 years and get on with the business of getting rid of Trump in 2 years. Failing to get to work on the midterm elections now would be yielding ground we need to conquer. Think big, act big, work hard. That's how you get rid of Orange Mussolini. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.